The views expressed in this podcast, Champ and Tramp, belong to the host and guest, not the Champ and Tramp podcast itself. It's intended for entertainment information, so please use discretion. We're not responsible for any outcomes resulting from the content discussed.
All right, summer's right around the corner, and we all know what that means. It's time to get in top shape.
Yeah, bud, we've all been there. Trying to burn fat, but without losing muscle. It's tough.
That's why I trust Carnivore Shred. It's a 2-in-1 fat-burning protein packed with beef protein isolate, and it doesn't stop there. It's got a blend of ingredients proven to burn up to an additional 100 calories per serving.
Carnivore Shred also boosts your metabolism, crushes cravings, and keeps you energized throughout your cut.
Exactly. It helps me lean out without sacrificing strength or muscle mass. Seriously, it's the perfect summer prep.
So if you're looking to get shredded and feel your best this summer, Carnivore Shred is the way to go.
No doubt. Let's crush it, Roger. Burn fat and build muscle with Carnivore Shred.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, FE. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. We're never tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the champ and the tramp, let the bomb blast.
Bro,
I heard what
Chris,
I want to
Chris,
fucking
I think
hear.
read. Oh, I don't know if he read a book his whole life.
Chris,
one
can
whole
I-
book.
can I
Maybe
just-
Huh?
maybe he read a half a book
Catcher in the Rye.
from 5 years old to.
Can I just
45
say
now,
that
you're like,
I absolutely love when you're here.
What, you gonna blow him now?
I
Did
love.
you bring your knee pads?
I did. Get over here.
It's
Bring
a little
that thing over here.
It's a little deflection from what he's used to. this
Dude,
guy. The abuse.
I am the main subject of his wrath until you,
It's
for
just-
some reason, Marky Lee gets it a little bit when Marky's here.
I
It's the
will
people
say
he
that
likes
I
the
haven't
most.
gotten tired of the gay jokes though. They
But
still hit.
Some
of them still hit.
They
Where
hurt a
some-
little.
No,
They
Roger,
sting.
Roger
still-
wishes they
sting.
did.
They still get
Roger
me-
wishes they did.
They still get me chuckling at times, even though I know that's the way he's going with it.
You guys do wrestle a lot in onesies and shit, so.
It's true.
Never, but you know.
Fucking sweat in my mouth.
But yeah, I'm really disappointed.
Talk to me.
No, in all this, like we talked
Bring
about.
that same energy.
Unless,
you bring-
no.
What do you think? All right, what would be your what is your recommendation? What do you think he should be saying? He should be saying, "Hey, there's a measles outbreak.
Well, wait,
but just
let's-
hunker down."
let's-
And what do you think?
We just turned the cameras
What do you
on,
mean?
so let's
What do you
premise this by
Okay,
saying
okay.
Frankie's a little perturbed because RFK.
Yeah, we thought, right, RFK was going to come in, change the pharmaceutical complex, right, going to make America healthy again, going to take seed oils out of shit, red dye out of shit. He literally was on a podcast, from what I understand. Is this true? Maybe not. Is it true that he was on the podcast with Candace Owens speaking about this particular vaccine, the MMR, which is measles, mumps, rubella, is dangerous and not maybe the best one to take, and now he's coming there pushing it in an article.
Well,
that just is like a total 180 to me.
again, correct
Right?
me
Yes?
if I'm wrong, but he in front of Congress said, "I am not anti-vaccine."
Right.
But
Yes, I know that.
But he does believe there are contributing factors with vaccines to the autism rates that are out now.
Right.
And the one that is talked about the most, if you're
Did you know?
if you know anything about autism, the one that's talked about the most that's related to that is the MMR vaccine, correct?
Right.
I believe so.
Right.
And Japan removed it from their schedule in 1993.
And do they have? I don't know. Do you know? Do they have?
They wear masks.
Well, no.
No, I'm joking.
Autism.
They did
is
away
it-
with the vaccine and got the mask.
Are their rates significantly less? Significantly less?
I
than
don't
they
know.
are
I
here?
don't know about that. But I mean, listen. I'm sure they still get a measles vaccine, maybe a mumps vaccine, and maybe rubella, but they don't put them together. That's, I think, was
Right,
the biggest
right.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And again, I just think. I read that article. They said like thousands of people died in the 19th century, but then by 1960, before the vaccine was even created, from clean sanitation and what else did I say? And nutrition.
Nutrition.
So from sanitation, nutrition, 98% of people stopped dying from. So it's not the vaccine. It's not the vaccine that saved people. It's sanitation and good nutrition that saved people.
And I don't.
Right?
I don't-
That would make more
But
sense.
again,
than-
now in this particular situation, they're calling it an outbreak. Can we get a hold of the
Who's
outbreak.
calling it an outbreak?
That's what they're saying on the news. There's an outbreak of
It's
measles.
roughly
am I right?
124 people, I guess, and growing in
But
West Texas.
now
right?
we saw that Brady, what is it called? Brady Bunch. That Brady Bunch episode where the kid comes home, he has measles, and he's fucking happy. I get to stay home from school. Oh,
Right.
I have a little bit of a fever. Invite. They're like, your sister got it. Oh, they got it. Your dad got it. Oh, I guess we're all clear in the house. And then who's the maid? Whatever. Remember the maid? Alice.
Yeah,
Alice comes in. She's like, I don't know, because she's got measles. Oh, I guess we're all good now. It's Like, what was that? What was that then? Was it that bad by then? No, when was the Brady Bunch? 70s? So yeah, they already had the clean sanitation and they had the good nutrition, so they weren't
They
worried
had
about it.
full bushes.
You
back
ever,
then. I
did
don't
you
know
ever?
how
But you ever think
sanitary
about
that
what did
was.
Mr. Brady do to afford all those children and a maid, and his wife stayed home? It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Good point.
Think about that. What'd that guy do?
Had to be in finance.
Of some sort, right?
Maybe.
That's where I'm going with it.
Well, they talk about herd immunity. You constantly hear that phrase, herd immunity, and that. What's the percentage of the community that needs to be vaccinated? Isn't it something like 80%?
Or recovered from it.
Or
Because
recovered from
you're
it.
that's also you get herd immunity by catching it and recovering from it.
But this has hints of COVID to it. It's like we're taking a step back here with because of the statement you made that the best thing you can do, not you made, but he read that he made.
that he wrote,
the best thing you can do is to get.
Well, if you listen, you get the immunity. What did he call it? Anyway, it's just is the fact that you could protect someone that's not able to get the vaccine. If you get the vaccine, you can protect someone that's not able to get the vaccine. What? Like I just don't like that one.
You don't want to protect people?
No, I'm trying to protect myself and my family.
I'm
That's
kidding.
it. That's
I
all I'm
get you.
prepared
I get
to
you.
do.
I get you.
I think
And,
people are very skeptical because.
Listen,
of
I'm
COVID.
so skeptical of
We're
everything
we're
now.
only a couple years out of COVID, and that
COVID.
Not only that, listen.
So now, even if they come up with the miracle cure for something, people are going to be skeptical about it because of what they did during COVID.
Well, they'll
I
never-
almost
they'll-
think
they'll
there
never-
are no miracle cures.
I was going to say
No,
they'll
there
never
isn't,
come
but
up
I'm
with a
just saying.
miracle
No,
cure.
and
'cause there's
listen,
no money in fixing people.
I think all the cures are like as much as like remember like they are Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine. It's no
Yes.
good. It's no good. I think that shit is good actually.
It was the
And
it was the Rockefellers were the ones that demonized all that. Yes, yes.
Everything.
Why? Because
every medicine that we have is comes from something natural, right? It really does. So I think it makes sense that all the cures or reliefs for ailments is in our nature. It's either in our food, in our water, and all that.
in a
What is
way,
penicillin from mold, right?
mold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you also got to think about it. Like as far as history goes, we're living now in a different way than our ancestors lived. Right? We live in cities. We live with different
cities
types of
been going
food.
around since the-
But not like I'm just saying. Though.
I mean,
so things have to
I don't know.
progress. Your medicines have to progress. People are living in different. People are
Well,
living
what do you
longer.
mean? What do you
Like
mean?
in a sense, like back in the day, everyone was in villages. You might have been around 50 people at a time, 30 people at a time. Now you're in Manhattan. You might walk past 500 people a day.
what's that mean?
So then, our medicines and things like and the
Why
disease
do- why though?
and we're gonna get different diseases than we got back in the day, right?
Oh, I don't know. I think we're doing a lot better than we were back in the day.
Well,
as far as diseases go.
No, we are because of our
respect-
because
medical-
of sanitation.
Right.
and because
So
of
plumbing, modern plumbing did
big
a
time,
lot.
big time.
Did a lot.
But it's
for
also
disease.
the advancement of medicines, of
Well,
hospitals, of all that.
No. What did that say, dude? What did it just say?
But
It wasn't. The advancement of the measles outbreak was because of clean fucking
right,
water
no, I
and
get
good
that.
nutrition.
I get that.
And honestly, that
And it was all-
eradicated the
hey.
Black Plague, the
Bubonic plague.
the
What
bubonic plague,
but
all
again,
that stuff.
what they're not talking about in there too is the fact that there's a fucking everybody lives within a half hour to 20 minutes from a hospital. We're back
Oh,
in
bro,
the day.
go
you
to the
might have
hospital.
caught it.
You go to the hospital. I ain't going to the hospital.
What?
Yo, people go to the hospital, they die.
Yeah, no, that is
You
true.
said it. You said it yourself.
It
I
is the
thought
truth.
like the Pied Piper got rid of. I thought the guy with like a flute or something
Got rid of.
Didn't he got rid of the bubonic plague? Didn't he march all the rats into the ocean or something like that?
Fucking.
Isn't that like a? You never heard of that, really?
Like a fairy tale.
Yeah, I'm pretty
They
sure.
told that in Maine, I guess.
That's
that
the main
was a
thing.
big. That was
That's
a
the
big main thing.
That's the main thing.
Was it a skin flute?
Always the
That's
gay
how they.
jokes.
That's how they duped them.
Always the gay
Some
jokes.
guy in high school
You
was
gotta
like,
blow in this, it'll get rid of that cold you got, son.
horrible. It's such a dick. Such a dick.
So no.
I get what you're saying.
Frankie's angry.
because he was super. anti-vax and all that, and he feels
now
like
he
he's
made it
one for us.
180.
I don't know.
And that's why people wanted him.
If he was here right now, he would take great offense to you saying anti-vax. He made it clear
that's how we
he
felt.
wasn't anti-vax.
That's how we all took it as he was the anti-vax
over-vaccinated,
guy.
I think, yes.
But he always said he's not anti-vax, that some of them are good, and if there's science behind it.
Okay, look up what's in an MMR vaccine. Let's look up in it. Let's see if you think. I mean, I'm not saying
it's probably
good.
Like I said, it was like 2019 by the time when they okayed the third or fourth dose for our kids, which is fucking crazy. So it's almost like they let it go for a couple years, but we didn't have that many side effects. They can handle another one. That part of it is, you know.
Well, what do you mean?
They got corrupted.
We got 8 vaccines, bro. They want our kids to get 70 fucking 2.
It's been corrupted.
I said that, and somebody corrected me. It's not actually 72. It's boosters.
Whatever. 72 fucking shots.
72 shots.
That's a vaccine. Every time you get one, that's a vaccine, right?
Right.
So that's 72.
Right.
I don't care if it's
total injections equals like 70 something. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. And we got 8.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Maybe our parents. I think we were in the teens. Something like that.
Yeah. But I'm saying, is there formaldehyde in there?
There's metals in it. That's what makes your body have the reaction, right? And
the heavy metals. They're saying that something is happening to kids today, that we're processing something, whether it be through, I say we, I think I might have been the generation, it was probably a generation or two after me, right, where it really started happening, where autism rates started going through the roof, where kids aren't processing something in our environment, whether it be in the air, whether it be in the water, whether it be in the food, whether it's a combo of all the above, and they're not processing heavy metals.
If you talk to somebody like my wife, she would tell you that we have better ways of detecting it, which is bullshit.
That's 100% bullshit.
But that's what mainstream.
I see what you're saying.
That's what mainstream is saying.
They were just weird kids or something.
It was it was always there, but now we have better ways of detecting it. The spectrum's so big.
I'm going to take an incredible amount of heat for saying weird kids. That's not what I meant. But she's saying that would have been labeled something else.
And the spectrum is so big is that you might meet a kid who's today he's on the spectrum, but 30 years ago you'd be like, yeah, he's just a little antisocial, he's a little whatever. But now we want to label everything.
Bro, so I think that's definitely bullshit, bro.
That I think it's bullshit. I think
bro,
you
the
toxins in the environment. Yes.
You grew up with how many kids you grew up with? How many? Like, I mean, I know like within my own family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no, nothing like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely. But look, how can there not be? Our food is fucking poison. All the fucking vaccines, all this shit we're dumping in the water.
Yeah, phones. It could be phones.
It
could
really,
be plastics.
It's plastics. Think about it. It's fucking. What do
you mean it is? You don't know.
This is what do we have today that we never had back in the day? We always had vaccines. We always had.
No, we didn't always have vaccines. We didn't have the vaccines that we have today. So
no, we don't. But we also didn't have the fucking like the EPA and all this other shit. So they were all these companies, the DuPonts, they were dumping shit in all our water. So we were getting poisoned other ways back in the day.
For sure.
So but we didn't have plastic bottles back then. We didn't use plastic as much as we did. I think they're finding plastic in our balls, bro.
Yeah.
In our balls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's probably a combination.
You guys never heard of the story, the Pied Piper of Hamelin?
Never
heard of it?
No.
Dude, long time ago, the German town of Hamelin was attacked by rats. They were no ordinary rats. They're huge black monster rats. Anyway, this guy.
Dude, exactly. I knew it. I knew it. This
he's
guy.
He's going to try to correlate that to racism in some way.
Bro. Listen, he's the whitest guy I've ever come across. Okay?
Why do you say white?
Why? Because he got his 23andMe.
You told me that.
He can't get any whiter, and of course he had the eradicate rats. What kind of rats? What kind of rats?
Not the gray white, not the gray rats,
gray white ones,
not the little white
only
ones.
Black
yes,
ones.
Okay.
Oh,
that's
shit.
messed up.
The plague rats.
It's a fucking story. I can't believe you guys never heard it.
Never.
The people of Hamelin tried everything. The more the rats they killed, the more they seemed to multiply. They were at their wits' end when one day a strange man walked into town. His mustache resembled a rat's tail, and his yellow eyes only just peeped out from under his big hat, and the nose was crooked. He played his flute and walked straight into town hall. He played his flute, and all the rats followed him.
And all the rats
town.
followed him. That's
that's smart rats.
That fucking checks out. That sounds pretty legit.
The stranger announced he could rid the city of the rat plague, which is, I think, symbolizes like the bubonic plague, I believe. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
And that was from what? That was from the rats. That was from still water. That was from all this shit that we didn't know about.
Dysentery, all that stuff is from just living in filth, basically. Which in a city you tend to live in filth if you don't have modern amenities, right?
That's what they said when we built the railroads. That we had the Chinese. We brought Chinese immigrants in to help build the railroads, and they said that we would get sick. The Americans were getting sick at such a crazy rate, and they weren't. And the reason was they were boiling their water to make tea. And we were just drinking still water, so we were catching all these fucked up diseases. And we thought that they were poisoning us, clearly, right? They're like, why are you not getting sick? And we are. But it came down to they were boiling their water, and they were killing all the fucking, something that stupid.
Oh,
very good. He's racist. He's blaming it on the Asians.
Oh.
Not the first thing that was blamed on him.
What the fuck?
Go ahead. You got
white man get sick. You with the boiled tea.
Yeah.
But shit.
That happened all throughout history, though.
So, I feel like Frankie loves to be a cynic. He just does. But are you, thus far with the current administration, are you overall happy, or do you feel disappointed?
Disappointed, 100%, bro.
With the
6 weeks.
Listen.
The Epstein list.
Listen.
What did you think was going
I'm
to happen?
not saying this. I think, look, it's better than the other option, number one, right? I do think they're doing great with the whole, Doge thing, finding out all this stuff, supposedly. Hopefully it does. I don't know. I haven't seen nothing, really.
You haven't got your $5,000
check or nothing like that.
Right.
But hopefully that could stop, our spending down and maybe make
make the people have some faith in our government.
Maybe bring our national deficit down, all that stuff.
What Trump's doing right now with Ukraine and the Russian war is...
Yeah, I think that's good, too.
That's slick.
Right? That's
it's
good,
slick.
too. He's stopping that war.
But the way he's stopping it.
But listen, there's a lot of shit that like the Epstein shit. They haven't done nothing.
Wait, but you didn't read this though? That the FBI director in the New York City office or whatever, he was forced to. You saw this, right?
I don't know if
he
that's
was
true.
A guy.
You don't know what you read if it's fucking. I mean,
you're right.
I'm at work.
Listen,
Frankie'd be like, "Oh, you got to do a little research, not look at pictures." I'm at work trying to figure this shit out. Sometimes I don't have time, but I did see that
I could just come up with shit.
The
myself.
New York field office or
he
whatever
was fired
he was blocking
because he was blocking.
This is what they're dealing with also. So we think that, hey, I got these papers on my desk.
Okay, but listen, she said that. She said, I have it on my desk.
Why did she say that?
I'm reviewing it now. And now they're saying, they're redacting certain things. What are you redacting? Yeah. Nothing should be redacted. Maybe to protect an innocent person or a victim. Okay, maybe take their names up. But what else are you redacting? I don't believe it. That's what I'm saying. I am so jaded now. I don't believe nothing. So even the good guys, I'm not believing you no more. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I'm with you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
We're owed Are we owed that after what the fuck we just went through for the last 5 years?
We keep throwing it back to not everybody can handle the truth. Well, at this
That's
point,
bullshit, bro.
At this point,
that's all.
That's bullshit.
Then go find somebody you can.
And bro, the way the news runs, they could release every Epstein name today. In 2 days from now, the news moves so fast. We're not dwelling on that.
Yeah.
That would just be a headline for a couple of days, and then it's like, all right, let's move on to the next thing. Oh, there's the
Remember
fucking
when
aliens.
we were kids? I've said this multiple times, but when we were kids, didn't things seem so much simpler? Like like the 5 o'clock news was the fire department.
It was though.
The editorial piece would be the fire department rescued a cat from a tree today.
Yes,
now it's like but
think
a
about
pandemic just fucking broke out.
When we were kids, we watched local news. Yeah. Now the news that we get, we didn't know about what was going on in the whole country. Now you know what's going on in Chicago and there's fires over here.
Well, that's why
you didn't know about that.
That's why they say, believe it or not, like we're seeing all these fucking plane crashes.
They say
they're down more than ever.
Right.
Yeah, they say I saw that. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Same thing with the railroad. Remember when the derailment happened?
Yeah.
And they kept posting all these derailments. I'm like, but this shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
And the ones they're posting is like,
the media they want to get now. They want to say, it's just this administration or this and that. Listen, I heard they stopped sending money to Ukraine. Put a stop to that.
Yeah.
But now let's stop sending money to any foreign country, bro.
We should until we get ourselves.
Yeah.
But the way that he's doing this with the mineral deal in the Ukraine, right? He's trying to have Ukraine sign over the mineral deals, which then will put American companies into Ukraine, which then would stop Russia from trying to invade them because now you're going to be shooting on Americans, and then we would get involved. So in a sense, we get the minerals, we stop the war, and we give Ukraine the security that they want. They're not going to be in NATO, but they're going to have American companies there. Yeah. Russia's not going to be. You're essentially in NATO already. Yeah. So it's very smart.
I seen a thing from Tucker just kind of like a highlight, like Chris highlight. But
no, I dive deep,
bro.
Huh? Like he said up there,
Listen,
I dive deep.
Frankie dives as deep as Twitter will let him. Go ahead.
Listen.
Yes. Puddle deep.
But no, where Tucker's talking about, he just was at the Swiss Alps for visiting.
I saw that. Yep.
And he said people are spending money left and right. Ukrainians,
the richest people there.
They're
are
the richest people all in Europe. The
course.
richest people, the Ukrainians, spending money like crazy.
Did you ever see
He's
the
like,
chart?
That's our money. He said that's our money.
Did you ever see the chart of how much money we gave compared to the EU, and how much we gave that was that we just gave it to them as a grant, and how many actual loans?
People say we.
95% of our money was a grant.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of money is
Doesn't have
owed
to get
back.
paid back,
The EU is the total opposite way. 95% of their money was a loan, and they gave a little bit of a grant. So when they're up there saying, we paid just as much as you did into this, you're getting your fucking money back.
Right.
We're not getting our money back.
I
know? And don't give me the whole shit, well, American companies made these bombs that we sent over there. Like, that doesn't help the regular
I think there's a
person.
disconnect, too, where people just think this is like imaginary money that the government has. No,
it's our fucking money.
We're paying that.
Yes.
That's us.
Right.
That's us.
That's the truth.
Our taxes, our tax dollars. That's crazy.
I saw a meme, thought it was kind of funny, that said something like in 2016, the left was saying, Trump's going to start World War III. And then fast forward to 2025.
Yes.
Trump, you need to start World War III. You know what I mean? It's like crazy.
It is. It's
but like
that's talking more about Israel, obviously. Also, Ukraine, Russia thing. But I mean, it seems like, he's and RFK's even weighing in on that. I mean, we're definitely backing Israel here. And
listen, I don't want war for nobody. Like,
exactly,
that's what I'm
my
saying.
point.
I don't want war for nobody.
Right.
How about that?
Like,
why do we got to get
involved?
involved?
But again, look,
if he can stop it in any way, which he seems to be trying to,
well,
he
that's
should
another
do
thing.
that.
Okay,
however,
how about listen?
Would better be no American troops going anywhere.
Right. Well, how about when he talks about I want to make it the what is it, the blank of the Gaza?
Yeah, the Riviera or whatever.
Of the Middle East.
He just says shit.
Yeah, but dude, did you see the AI video that came? He posted on whatever. What's his Truth Social? Dude, it was literally trans in it.
Really?
There's fucking dudes doing the fucking belly dance with beards and tits.
Well, they buy tickets too.
Trump put that out?
Yes.
Really?
Truth Social. You see that there, Andrew? On Truth Social?
That's Andrew's type of party right there. You kidding me?
Seriously, go look Truth Social post about making Gaza the
But you know why he's
And
very smart with that though.
there's
As soon as he
$100
said
in it
that,
if you
2
can
days
prove Frankie
later,
wrong.
you had Egypt and whoever over there was like, no, you're not doing that. We'll kick in. We'll help rebuild it. I think he just kind of says shit just so you get.
Well, like
Why-
making Canada the 51st state.
Yes.
I mean, he does say some wild shit, but
Yes.
he did make the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America
yeah, bro.
literally in a week. It was crazy.
I mean, hey,
I don't see why anybody's that upset over that.
They don't want to pay taxes. Those are the people.
Right.
no,
They want to keep getting their grants.
Yes, right.
Well, I'm sure they're trying to say it's the people that live in New York and they don't want their streets backed up. That's what they're trying to say.
That's what they're trying to say. But
How do you-
hold on, I'm talking to my brother the other day. This is the disconnect. I'm talking to my brother the other day about the congestion toll and about this whole thing, and he was like, "Yeah, it's actually fucking good." He's like, my buddy who works on Wall Street, he's like, used to take him 2.5 hours to get in the city. Now he's in and out in a fucking hour. He gets there in an hour, so it's actually helping. I'm like, yeah, but he don't care about paying an extra $18 a fucking day.
Exactly.
It's the electrician or the plumber who's driving in from New Jersey
Right.
that has to
Right.
pay that every day.
Right.
So that's who's really going to feel that. Who's going to feel that? Then they're forcing everybody to go to the subway where people are getting lit on fire in the middle of the fucking day. So
Well, I see.
Wait a
I see.
minute.
There's a much heavier New York City police presence in the subways now. They're really
sure.
to try to eliminate some of that, make people
hopefully.
feel safe.
Yeah.
Which there should have been all along. Why wasn't
Do
there
you
always?
see now like the videos of the subway? Everybody standing there with their backs to the wall so they don't get pushed.
Yeah,
into
yeah.
Come on, man.
That's how I would do it.
Oh, I would, but think about this: how we gotta live.
Yeah.
Well,
And just as people, we just adjust. People aren't going to uprise and say this is crazy. We're going to be like, I'll just stand with my back to the wall. I got to get to work.
what is
You know
it?
what I mean?
Duke Gomez has those hoodies. Bring back insane asylums.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of true, man.
Yeah, there
They're
is
letting
more.
lunatics
Who did that? Didn't
walk the
Reagan,
streets.
Reagan close it down. Who?
Yeah.
and they're
Right.
these loonies I'm not saying it's their fault. Maybe they were born schizophrenic or whatever, but they're shoving innocent people in front of fucking buses, in front of trains and shit.
And
they should not be.
If you try to stick up for somebody, you're going to be the one in fault.
Right.
If I never go to New York again, it'll be fun.
I'm the same way, man, and it's sad. I used to like going to the city. If I never stepped foot in New York again,
I would go back to the city if I had to.
What do you like going about? Entertainment and food, right?
That's it. Yeah, of course.
That's pretty much it.
Been. What else would you go for?
Energy, bro.
Entertainment and food.
Of the city.
I know, but like he said, what else would you go for other than entertainment or food?
Right.
You wouldn't just go hang out.
No.
I mean, we used to go to train all the time.
We would ride in and terrorize Times Square on motorcycles occasionally just to do it, but just do burnouts in the middle of fucking Times Square. But that was about it.
This weekend's fights.
Indeed.
Pereira versus Ankalaev.
I think Ankalaev has a good. He's got a good.
He's
got one of the better shots.
Because Pereira's not a wrestler, right?
Yeah, but he's supposedly not going to try to take him down.
They all say that. Why would you? Why would you do that? Ankalaev's got fairly good striking. He's got good wrestling, and I think if Pereira gets stuck underneath him, he's not going to get up.
Yeah.
But again, we've said this about quite a few people before that he hit with left hooks and ended the night.
What's crazy is Ankalaev is a Muslim, and Ramadan just started. So I wonder, like, not. I think you're kind of like allowed to pass if you want to, like, obviously not follow the Ramadan. I think maybe he'll do it and start after.
It's gonna be tough, man. You can't eat or drink from sun up to sundown, right?
Right? Wow. Correct. So I don't know if he's doing that now. He was able to get his camp in at least. I wonder. Like Bilal, he'll train. He'll do a whole camp.
Yeah, he trains at night and shit.
Right? It's pretty crazy.
So what are you saying? Ramadan just started?
Just started this past weekend, yep.
So then they're fighting this coming weekend.
Yeah,
so really, I mean, you're in Ramadan for your cut week. That's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah,
anyway.
I wonder how much he's cutting, really.
Yeah. I saw Pereira was 226 pounds rather.
That's crazy.
The other day.
That's crazy. He's a big dude.
But to get to 205, he used to get to 85 like that.
And you got Gaethje versus Fiziev again.
Yeah, that's going to be a great
Hooker
fight.
got hurt. You see Hooker's hand?
No.
He was supposed to fight Dan Hooker.
Yeah, right.
And he
Which
broke his
would have
hand
been a great
bad.
Broke it bad, yeah.
It looks bad. He was trying. He's nuts. He's nuts.
Oh, he's out of his mind.
He was like, I was trying to fight, but they wouldn't let me.
Metacarpal? That was like Irish.
I know. What is
Metacarpal break?
New Zealand, right?
New Zealand.
Down under.
Same thing.
Down under. Cracked a fucking kangaroo.
Yeah. Bro, I love Dan Hooker, man. He's another guy that he's never had a non-exciting fight. They've all been fucking barn burners.
Yes.
Bro, he spars with Israel Adesanya all the time. He's about as big as Israel. He's tall as shit.
Yeah,
I heard an interview with Izzy, and he was talking about he got into some beef with some guy. There was actually a video of it. The guy, like, Izzy parked his car, and the dude tried to come up to him and said, hey, whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was saying that. He's like, man, he's lucky. He's like, I have control. He's like, he's lucky that wasn't Dan Hooker. He's like, he's always looking for a fucking fight.
I wonder, was that in Australia?
Yeah.
I wonder what, like, the laws are there. You know what I mean? Are they different? They're probably, like, super, can't do shit.
Yeah.
Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. You know what I'm talking about? That's Bilal's boy. He's pretty good too.
I know.
He was here when Bilal and Islam.
Oh yeah.
He's tough.
Jalen Turner's fucking good, man.
Jalen Turner's huge too for 55.
Yes, he is.
You see Jones talking about, obviously why it would be better for him to fight Pereira than Aspinall and his reasoning and
because of his name.
It did make a lot of sense the way he explained it.
He's got more titles. He's got accolade wise, yes, but as far as hey man, this is the guy we want to see fucking fight.
He's like I understand why people want me to fight Aspinall. He's like I get it. The guy outweighs me by 35 pounds. He's young. He's up and comer, but he's like he hasn't established himself as like a legend in the sport like Pereira has.
I want to see.
I want to see it too.
I want to see both of them.
Right. Yeah.
Fight Aspinall first because that's your belt. Go defend your
belt.
belt.
Is it Aspinall's fault? He's fucking nuked everybody to
put in front of him. Not Aspinall's fault at all. But if you're John Jones at this point in your career,
you can pick and choose.
You're late in your career. It might be your last fight. He has the ability to pick and choose. Nobody can judge you for doing it because you fucking beat everybody. Who would you pick if you were John Jones?
I get it. I totally get it, but I want to see
because I division champ. Yes.
Listen, I think because everyone, just because of his outside the cage, it's always like, is he really? If he didn't have, think about it, he never got in trouble. he's 100% pound for pound. Everyone's going to get pound for pound.
I still think he is.
Oh yeah, so do I too. But I mean, steroids. I mean, that's got to put a little bit of a question mark if he did get caught with it. I heard he didn't with the picograms and all this shit.
If it's steroids, I agree with you. The coke, I don't give a shit about. The fact that he beat Daniel Cormier fucking after puck. So I think that's even more gangster.
So. But a win over Aspinall. Aspinall is going to be a great. He's going to be a great. Whether he beats Jones, doesn't beat Jones, he's going to be considered a great. You get that on your resume, you're the GOAT, bro. You're the GOAT.
But
and then
aren't you the GOAT if you get it on Pereira though? You're still the GOAT.
He's
Pereira. I think he takes down Pereira and
does what he wants.
Like it's Cyril gone.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like Aspinall is the big what if.
He said
That's
that.
What it is.
He brought up Cyril Gone. He said Cyril Gone fight did nothing for me. It's like it did nothing for me.
Aspinall is the big what if, right? So go for and hey, look, you lose to Aspinall, no one's almost expect. He might be. I don't know if he'd be a dog, but he might not be such a big favorite. You lose to Aspinall, then you go fight the legend fight against Pereira. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. That's just. It's just me saying I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight.
I agree with you, but has he hinted to retirement? Has he
Yeah,
said
I'm sure
anything?
he's got one more
He has
left.
a couple more. He has a couple more.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe one more. But yeah.
It depends.
Well, that would have to be the two then, for sure.
They're going to pay him all the money. They'll probably pay him more money to fight Aspinall than they will Pereira, though.
Right.
And again, what are you going to do with Pereira? You're going to meet him at 205? You're going to cut all that weight again?
It might be a bigger fight. I wonder which one sells more. I wonder.
Pereira.
It might be Pereira.
Yes, definitely. He's the fucking name. Man right now. He's got two
I don't know,
belts.
but I feel like if the odds
Aspinall's
came out,
never been beat?
No.
Never.
Listen, the odds come out.
He's never been to a decision.
Yeah, the odds come out. What's closer odds?
Aspinall and
correct.
Yes.
That's why I want to see that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. I get it.
Yep.
I
I think of the two, I would want to see that too.
I mean, I wouldn't get mad at Jones versus anybody.
Either fight I would love to see, but I think
I wouldn't get mad at Pereira versus Aspinall.
But again, now say John Jones never went to heavyweight and he was still a 205, or who would you want to see him fight? Would you want to see him bump up to fight Aspinall, or would you want to see him fight Pereira at 205? Well, is it only because now he's a heavyweight?
Why are we making these scenarios that don't exist?
No, but I'm just saying now, right?
What the fuck does it matter?
No, but
hey, what if John Jones had one leg? Then who? Then who do you want to see him fight?
No, but think about that. Are we just saying? Is Aspinall?
What if he went to the women's division?
Yeah.
He could have been a champion. He could be a champion forever. Yeah.
Hey, one-legged guy in an ass kicking contest ain't gonna do too good.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to see him fight Aspinall because there's more questions there. I think the lack of wrestling in Pereira, I mean, it makes it kind of it makes it an easier fight.
And
for
he's
him.
so much bigger and all that, you know.
Right.
But I mean, and Aspinall can still shut your lights out. It's not like he's a fucking. Yeah. He's.
I think
he moves so
in the heavyweight division.
Oh, bro,
he
moves
so
fast.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Jones beats him. That's what 3 generations of the best guys. That he's
3 more than
crazy.
that, bro. Yeah. More than that.
He started young. How old was he?
He beat Shogun, bro.
Yeah, Shogun, and then the next generation is what is the
John Jones, Rashad,
Chael Sonnen.
Nah, that's the same fucking
generation.
generation.
Same generation.
You gotta think like
no way. Shogun and
Santos and who was the other guy that he fought? He fucking kicked.
Gustafson and Shogun are not the same generation.
No, that would be the second generation.
Okay.
This is the third.
Would have been third. Nah, maybe. No, I think he's like 4. No.
He's like third generation.
Then he beat Reyes and whatever and those guys. That's the third. This would be the 4th. Aspinall especially because Aspinall's young. That'd be the 4th.
Aspinall
How old's Aspinall?
You know what I mean? He's in his 20s, bro. I think maybe.
And Jones is mid-40s.
30s.
No, he's probably.
He's only 30s.
Yeah, but he was a champion, youngest ever.
Yeah, that's right.
Champion.
He was. Yeah.
He's like fucking 19, 20 years old. And the dude stopped the fucking mugging the morning of his championship fight. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
He's 31, Aspinall.
Yeah, and they can fight way longer when you're big.
You definitely can.
John Jones, 37.
Wow, he's a lot younger than I thought. I thought he was like early 40s.
It's getting there, though.
Wow.
It's getting there.
So, yeah. That was that.
What do you think about Paddy Pimblett versus Chandler?
I like that fight. I do. I think. I mean,
honestly, if Chandler went out there and fought his ability, I would say Chandler easy.
Yeah.
Just because he could wrestle, he could do something. He doesn't use his like he goes out there. He's like, all right, I just want to win fight of the night.
Yeah,
like, that's what he says.
I know.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But fans win, right? I
I know,
love
but
watching Chandler
I don't know,
fight.
though, man. Like,
As a
he's
fighter,
won
like
two
I'm a
fights in
purist,
UFC,
like he
and
said.
he's still-
as a fighter, well, he beat Dan Hooker, and Dan's fucking good.
That's the only one. That's his only win in the
But-
UFC. Oh no, wait.
But as a
Tony
fan, I can see where you guys could
And he's
totally,
still a main event, so
totally
it's-
pick it apart.
yeah, he's
as fighters, right?
No,
Totally
listen,
pick his.
I'm just saying,
but
I know
as a
his
fan,
ability. He's got
bro,
great ability.
Yes.
Fucking, you never lose watching a Chandler
Oh,
fight.
yeah, it's always
Bro, but
good
okay,
stuff.
even when he was using all his tools, you still want to watch him fight. When he fought Eddie Alvarez, he was using his wrestling, he was using those fights were bangers.
Some of the best.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just gonna bring it no matter what.
Pitbull,
But just be
right?
a little smarter.
Yep.
Be a little bit smarter. You'll like, dude.
Yeah,
Doesn't use his wrestling at all.
No,
He just
really
swings
doesn't.
for the fences, bro.
Yeah.
Swings for
I mean,
the
he's
fences.
fun to watch.
He is.
Fuck,
is.
fuck yeah, it's fun.
But
Yeah.
I think it's because he puts butts in the seat and he always has exciting fights. He hasn't been cut because he's got how many losses?
Of course.
Yeah, no.
How many losses?
He's like 2 and
man.
fucking
2
6
and
or 5
yeah,
or
something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like
but
he
he
had
brings it every time.
he had Oliveira on the ropes.
Mm.
He had fucking those fights. Dustin Poirier were
Yeah.
incredible. So
Yeah.
it's like some
Did
of
he
them.
fight Gaethje?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did fight Casey. Yep.
Yeah. And
Why am I
when
drawing a
fought,
blank
when
on
in
that?
New York, when I fought one night, right? Gaethje and yeah.
How did that go? I'm drawing a blank on that
Gaethje
fight.
won. Gaethje won.
Well, I mean, was it close?
It was a bang,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Pretty sure.
Oh, he's bangers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was
I
the night
feel
fought.
like they fought.
But I mean, Oliveira, that last fight, had his back for fucking like 5 minutes,
Right,
and
right.
he couldn't finish him, but he kept picking him up. So, I mean, he couldn't get out of the position, but he was picking him up and fucking just slammed.
Right.
I mean, the crowd was going nuts because
What's
it
the
looked
next
good.
best thing?
It
Like,
looked
let me
good.
get this fight in tonight bonus.
It looked good. You know what I
Remember
mean?
their first fight? He had him on
Yeah.
freaking
Oh, he
on,
did.
The night
on
I
the
fought.
rope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the night
yeah.
I fought Cheeto. Yeah.
You got a fucking pretty good memory for.
He does have a
taking
good memory.
headshots for 20
Yeah.
years, right? Doesn't he have a good memory?
Yeah. I just remember seeing him in the hotel. That's why. Yeah, but they never fought again. Just once. Right? Yeah, once.
It went to a decision, or Gaethje knocked him out.
Decision.
Decision.
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't going to say did Gaethje submit him because those guys, neither one of those guys
No.
goes for a submission ever.
Casey shot one takedown
Yeah.
his whole fucking career.
I know,
Right?
and he said, "I got it. I
Yeah.
got it. I got it."
And bro, he was an All-American in wrestling.
I
too.
know, that's insane. But I mean, your career, you started out as a wrestler, and then your hands got really good. Where was it? Shirk, right? You started.
But
you
my
always
first
wrestled,
fights, I
so.
always use my
Yeah.
hands.
You always did up until all of
Always,
it. It was
you know?
always
Did you? I just remember you more as a wrestler
I mean, you watch me and Tyson Griffin. We touched every part of that
Yeah,
of martial
yeah.
arts.
Yeah.
And
true.
the reason why you were very successful with your hands is because there was always a threat for you to
Take
throw
that,
people on
yeah.
their freaking heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Big time.
Do you
All right,
remember where were you at that fight? Were you in the corner
Which
for
one?
Griffin?
Yeah.
The fucking size difference was
Oh,
insane,
it's-
bro.
From weigh-ins
I mean,
to
it's-
that dude in the cage, it was like.
I think
holy
Frankie's only been
shit.
bigger than maybe 2 guys he's ever fought,
Taller.
but Tyson was fucking insane, bro. The
He
size
blew up.
difference.
But again,
Yeah.
Tyson would put on so much weight. It was weight and it was harder to deal
Yeah.
with, but it was almost a negative, right?
Yeah.
Like he got so fucking,
Yeah.
he blew up.
It was insane.
And he was tired, bro. He got tired. I got
Yeah.
tired, but I didn't train for that fucking fight.
I know.
I trained for 2 weeks for that fight. That's why I was tired.
Yep.
And he was like, we were both like, fucking, it was bad.
really
You know what I mean?
Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
And he was the guy. You were
Yeah.
supposed to get fucking
Yeah.
steamrolled in that
Yeah.
fight.
He had
was
tree
just killing
trunk legs,
people.
that dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got you in a leg lock in that, right? Right at the end, and you
Knee
didn't
bar.
tap. Knee bar. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty deep, if I remember.
It was.
And the round timed
And
out.
his knee was fucking.
Yeah, but
bent,
he didn't look like he was in any. You didn't look. Your face didn't show that you were. Were you thinking about tapping?
Popped 3 times.
Did it really? No
Once
shit.
it popped, I'm like, fuck it now.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you say popped, is that like a meniscus tear?
I never got it checked
No,
out.
of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. So
We
what?
got so
What?
blasted after that
what
fight.
is that?
He was dancing and everything, bro. It was like.
What does that terminology mean? Popped. Does that mean that you just feel a pop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel
Okay.
click.
Yeah,
That means
probably my-
that means it went
might
too
have-
far and then went a little bit further than too
Yeah.
far. You know what I'm saying?
Probably
Yeah.
my MCL or my LCL. One of them definitely went.
Huh.
I was limping.
I feel like of
for
all
a couple
your
weeks.
all,
That-
I feel
that-
like of
not
all
the-
the shit that's ever happened to him. I mean, his shoulder, he can't pick his arm up. He's had the fucking hip replacement. I never really hear you complain about your knees.
Nah, that's like knock on wood.
Yeah.
I got good knees. I fought with a torn MCL. Actually, I had to pull out of a fight once because of an LCL tear.
Who was that?
When it was Matt Wyman, actually.
Oh, that's right. I remember that was supposed to be at a military base or something, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
North Carolina.
I tore my LCL, and then I remember it's funny. I tore my MCL or LCL. I can't remember on one knee, and I was just dealing with it. Like, it's normal, kind of. I mean, it's not great, but I say, fuck, I'm not pulling out. I was like,
is that what Corey headbutted you in the knee or something like that?
No. So then I went up. Me and you went up. Remember, to AMA.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
AMA was called?
Yeah. AMA.
And I was training with friggin' Jim Miller. And since I was just putting so much, I was like overcompensating. I tore my MCL or LC, the opposite on my other knee.
Oh shit!
Training with Miller, I'm like, fuck. Guess who? He took my fucking fight. He took the fight.
Did he?
Yeah.
Shit.
Like, motherfucker.
I do remember that.
I couldn't have it. We love Miller though.
Yeah.
But
fucking
then
Miller's great, bro.
I also tore my MCL when I was getting ready for Jeremy Stevens. But it was the first Garden card. I'm like, well, I don't give a fuck. I'll figure it out. I was going to therapy every day using the cold laser or some shit, trying everything.
Right.
And that's then my back went out. Because, like, again, anytime you have an injury, you always get a second injury.
Yeah, because
my
you're
back went out.
overcompensating.
So I got to get an epidural. And I remember even in that fight that week, I'm running on the treadmill because, like, I got sick. Actually. I got, like, I was throwing up. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I wanted to make sure I still had my conditioning. You know how you're not swimming that week?
Yeah.
So I remember being in the gym after I was throwing up. I think that was the day I was making weight. I'm like, let me get on the fucking treadmill real quick. I cranked it up. I'm like, no. Like, fucking, I'm like, I'm good. I fucked my ankle up.
No.
I couldn't walk. I was like, what the fuck? So I had a fucking bad knee, a bad back, and bad ankle in that fight. Like, what the fuck?
Sound like me now.
Then once you get out there and get warmed up, you're like,
bro.
feel
And I remember
nothing.
going with him, and I'm like, and my knee popped again. I'm like, oh, fuck, I guess we're in it. We're in it now.
We were just talking about John Jones and how many generations, whether it be 3 or whether it be 4. How about Jim Miller, bro?
Oh, I know.
How many generations has that dude fucking fought, bro? He's been in and he's still listed.
Well, he came in
active, right?
He came in with John Jones, so about the same.
Yeah, he came in a little bit after you.
Yeah.
But he's got to have more fights than John Jones for sure,
Oh,
right?
yeah, he's got 40
Miller's super
fights.
active, bro.
Yeah.
Super
He's fighting
active.
Chase Hooper next.
Is he fighting?
That's the kid with the fro?
I think he's too much for him.
That's a jiu-jitsu kid with the fro?
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot bigger. He was a 45er. Now he's like a pretty big 55er. Yeah, he's good. He's pretty good. That's gonna be interesting. I wonder because Jim could grapple, bro. He could definitely grapple.
Yeah, definitely can.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that'll go.
And Jim's like an opportunist. You leave something out there for a second, he's on it.
Yeah.
He's not like a position guy all the time. He's just holding you down.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish with this one lighthearted stuff.
Well, what do we got, buddy?
I'm saying
Epstein list.
No,
Something lighthearted.
No. Okay. And the reason I said I don't know, whatever. He goes to something stupid,
What do you got?
Like in a movie, is there is associated with a certain actor?
Fuck, you sent me this earlier, and I meant to think about this too.
Can a different actor play that part? And the reason I brought that up is because I seen. Did you know that what's the guy? Chris Farley was actually pretty much did almost all his lines. He was going to be Shrek.
Yes, I knew that.
And he
Chris
died.
Farley was.
Chris Farley. And I heard you hear him, and he would probably been pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name?
Mike
killed
Myers
it. Mike Myers
Yeah,
killed it.
Right.
But so that's what you think of. But I guess he died in the middle of the taping. That's when he died.
Wow,
so,
I didn't know that.
Well, that's just voice acting, which
it's a little
still
easier,
acting, but it's
think about the money that like off those Shrek. Like you never seen fucking what's his name again?
Michael Myers.
Or Eddie Murphy. You know how much he made like $1 billion off of that being a donkey, just between everything. It's crazy.
But okay, I was the most classic. Who's one of the most classic characters in any movie? Come on, I can't believe we didn't come right to you.
But
what?
Who's the most
Scarface?
classic movie or character?
Character in a movie. In a movie.
Clint Eastwood?
Nope. A character, not Clint Eastwood isn't the character. Clint Eastwood is
I thought
the actor.
I thought you meant American,
Yeah.
Okay, I got you now. All
Who like when you think of that guy, who is it?
Go, come on, it's fucking easy. It's our world, bro. It's probably one of the reasons why I fucking fight.
Oh, Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah, right.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Who else could play Rocky?
Oh, there's probably
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, like Stallone. I mean,
it's gotta be- I remember-
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
was-
not with that accent.
no,
Not with that
Schwarzenegger
accent. Yeah.
He's got to be the Italian. He's the Italian stallion.
Right.
You know
Gotta
what I
look
mean?
like a street dude. He can't be like too fucking
rough around the
handsome.
edges.
Can't be too
But I mean,
handsome.
that was written for him, right?
I
You
know,
what
but I'm
mean?
It was
saying
written
I know,
by
but
him.
this is-
By
this
him
is-
for him.
Right.
Correct. This is the like I would say Mickey Rourke maybe
Maybe.
back then.
Yeah.
No, he was
What
fucking
about, even though he's got an English accent, he can do any accent. Tom
Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
He probably could do that.
Tom Hardy's good,
He
bro.
could do that. Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Yeah. But I mean, Stallone.
Because
is
he
just
did
so
he did the
fucking-
fight movie with his brother, and
Yeah.
yeah. That was MMA, but
Warrior.
Right,
yeah.
that was great. That was
That
great.
was pretty good.
There's certain roles that you can insert a lot of people into, but then there's certain roles that are just so iconic, and maybe it's just because.
What about like
of, you know,
Tom Hanks, Castaway? Who could have done that? I mean, anybody? You think?
Yeah, I think a lot of people could have.
I put
James Gandolfini?
I'd have put a Matthew McConaughey in there all day.
Yeah, you could put him.
kidding
Yeah,
me?
Matthew
That's true.
McConaughey.
That's
Matty
true.
would've killed
That's
it.
true.
He would've
Tom
killed it.
Cruise would kill that.
They're all great. James Gandolfini, great actor, but he couldn't play any role. He's got to play that Italian guy. you know,
Nah, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. You watch him in.
Yes,
what's
right. He was in one, right?
What's the movie with Julia
Still-
Roberts and
yes.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah, you're right.
I forget, but like that movie, he kills it, and he has no Italian accent
You're
at
right.
all.
You're right. You're
You
right.
know?
You're right.
He's a
Yeah.
phenomenal actor.
He is.
could do anything.
He is a
He was.
phenomenal.
He could
Get
do it.
Shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah,
Get Shorty.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
in
yeah.
that.
Oh, was he in it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. What's the remake though of? I forget the remake.
Same characters
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah. I didn't know he was in the first one.
But you look at someone like a Robert De Niro. He did good in.
Be cool.
Be cool. Yeah.
Be cool.
Like he was Meet the Fockers was a good role for him, but outside of that, if he's not the mobster, I don't believe him in any other role. I think the rest of the roles are like, He gets
he has to play. He plays the dominant male.
Yeah.
You know, what was that one movie where he's like the heist? He pulls the heist with Edward Norton John.
That was his
Norton
last
Jr.
movie, I think. Gandolfini. That was sorry.
But yeah, that movie, the heist, I think it's called. Isn't he in it? Pretty good.
The Drop.
The Drop. Yeah, The Drop.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it came out after he died too.
No.
But not. I mean, do you think any great actor could play any role?
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty
But
much.
I mean, would they
Right.
do as well in that
Right.
role? I don't know.
And like not every role's made for the way you look, the way you act, the way you know what I mean. You have to have certain.
Well,
Were you
James,
I'm sure whoever.
James
romance.
Gandolfini.
True
You think
romance,
he
yeah.
could he have been
Yeah.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, I mean, you never
what's
know.
that?
Right?
James Gandolfini is Harry Potter. He's a great actor. Could he do it?
Look how
I mean,
many.
look, he could definitely do it, but it wouldn't be believable.
Yeah, yeah.
though. You know
Look
what
how
I'm
many
saying?
Batmans there were. And
Yeah,
all of them
true.
were pretty
Very-
fucking good,
yeah,
right?
yeah, they
All
were.
of them. No,
Who's the best Batman?
the best Batman.
Who's the best Joker?
Well, we know
Who's the
Joker.
best Batman? We don't know the best Joker. Who's
The
the
best
Joker?
Batman. You're gonna say no? I don't know.
I would say maybe Christian Bale.
Christian Bale was good.
He was good.
I liked
Yeah.
That
What's
the,
his name?
the
Keaton
voice
was
was a
good.
little much with Christian Bale, but
Michael Keaton.
Michael
was cool.
Keaton. I
Michael
think was
Keaton,
cool.
yeah.
But
Jack Nicholson,
Val Kilmer
right?
did that one. It was okay.
Jack
Ah,
Nicholson
Val
was the
Kilmer,
Joker.
yeah.
I'm sorry, was the
It
Joker.
was a weird movie though.
I think
Val
Jack
Kilmer.
Nicholson might have been one of the best Jokers.
Oh,
too.
for sure. He was a comic book
Well,
Joker.
no,
though.
what's
he
his
wasn't
name?
as dark
no,
as
no, the guy
this
that
guy.
died.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger was the best by
well,
far.
but that
by
he
far.
went into a whole different type
no,
of
but yeah,
role. It wasn't.
They
like,
say
he
the
wasn't the
they
comic
say the
book Joker.
worst
Yes, he
was
was.
the 30,
Not really.
30 Second of Mars guy.
Oh, bro.
And I,
yes,
Jared
he was.
Leto.
Jared Leto,
He
they say was the
super
worst.
no, that role.
You
he
think
was
Jared
super
Leto
dark.
was the worst Joker?
Um.
A lot of people say
That was that.
Yeah.
What's that? Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Oh,
Suicide
Jared Leto.
Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a weird movie.
It wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't really like highlight him that well.
Yeah.
The that character that well. You know.
Tell you, he was a dick. in
Think
that
about
movie.
it. Jack Nicholson, when he was Joker, he was like I said, like the comic book Joker. He had the gun where he shot it and it went.
Yeah,
boom,
but
it came out
yeah,
bang.
bang,
That
yeah.
type
No,
of
but
shit, you know?
that's not. It's because of the director of that movie was
Yeah.
Night Before
Christopher
Halloween.
Nolan.
No,
What are you talking about?
For the one with Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
He's who's the
Oh,
night
Tim
before?
Burton.
Tim Burton. That's
Yeah.
a Tim Burton movie.
Was that Tim
Yeah,
Burton?
you
I
can
don't
tell.
know.
Like it
Yeah.
definitely has that flair to it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
And it was a timepiece, right? Well, no, actually, no, it wasn't. I mean, it was just the '80s.
Yeah,
that was like
but
Kim
that was
Basinger
yeah,
was on that too.
dude,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
You kidding me, bro?
No, she was in part 2 though. Or was she in part 1?
No, I think she was in part 1, wasn't she?
Yeah,
When they
okay.
fucking they made her like a zombie or whatever, and they put the mask on her.
Do you
So
guys
hot, bro.
look at actors, celebrities, but celebrity actors the same way you used to? I don't.
Oh, how'd you look at
I don't know how I ever looked
I
at
just
him, though.
thought that they were just, I don't know. I guess I thought they were beyond, bigger than like real life, and then you see their personal views on certain things.
Right,
You're like, holy
right.
fucking shit!
Well, the internet destroyed all that
yeah,
for them,
yeah.
right? Think
well,
about it.
And too, like the bigger the actor, like how in touch are they with the real world?
Right.
No, and I
You
think
know
we
what I mean?
see that now
So
that we
that-
realize like these people aren't even real fucking people, you know?
So like they don't even know how like real people think.
I saw something. I think it was it Candace? No, it wasn't Candace Owens. It was Megan Kelly. Megan Kelly was talking about Julia Roberts, who obviously, I mean, Pretty Woman, what a great movie, right? Everybody loves Julia Roberts. Was talking about, where the wildfires happen in L.A., right? Like she was saying,
Where the wildflowers grow.
where the wildflowers grow. She was saying something about, talking about looters and how dare you rob from my neighbors. But she's like, she's so out of touch with reality. Where were you when businesses were burning down?
Of course.
And fucking,
course.
people were losing everything. You didn't give a fuck then because your world wasn't
Right,
touched. You
'cause
know what I mean?
It didn't hit you directly,
Yeah,
right? I mean, and you get to a certain level of success in this world, and you can insulate yourself. Now, I don't have to worry about that if
Yeah.
you're rich enough, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
that's just what it is.
No one should have guns. Nobody
Yeah.
except my
Yeah,
personal
except my
security.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
yes, I know.
But I didn't used to look at them like that. I used to look at them like they were bigger than life
You
people.
also
and
have to look at this. I think
they're just
now
average people
we
who are
expect-
really good at
yes.
one thing.
Like
You know
we
what I mean?
expect too much of actors now.
Yeah.
Actors used to just be the guy that plays this, the guy like now we're looking for role models out of him. We're looking like this guy's an alcoholic. This guy's who gives a fuck about any of that? I like the role that he plays. He's a good actor.
Right.
I think we're
That's
putting
how
too
I
much
view it
on
now.
these people.
I
You know
view
what
it that way now.
I do believe that. Same thing with
What just happened? The Oscars is the Oscars the one where they it's a award giving by themselves,
No.
or is
I don't
that the
think so.
Academy Awards?
That's the Academy Awards.
Academy Awards,
I believe.
okay.
No, Academy Award is the Oscar.
Is it same thing?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Something
Is
just
it the same
happened. but-
thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Academy Award is an
Every
Oscar.
one of them stands up and gives a political speech. Every single
Oh, I
one
know.
of them.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
Fucking De Niro walked out first.
Yeah,
Said,
fuck Trump.
Like,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
now, come on.
Whatever. I believe in freedom of speech, but like
In a way, but that, is
I
that
do
what we're
view
here to
him.
do?
I view him a little differently now. I mean, still probably one of the greatest actors who's
Right.
ever lived.
Yeah, they're the
Can't
same
take that
thing.
away from him.
But but I
They
will
are the
say-
same thing?
I will say though, like, as much as I didn't care about that shit, and I would not watch a movie because of somebody's political views or shit that I saw.
Right.
So I'm not gonna ruin my time because of that. But
How do you-
now,
and then how-
but now I'm at the point where when a guy like him and some of the shit, I can see why people are like, I'm not watching, I'm not supporting this guy with my time.
So
and my money.
so
yeah.
so
I
let me
kinda get
let me
I
flip
kinda get
let
it.
me
Me
let,
too.
let me
Yeah.
f-
Now-
let,
now
let me
I'm starting
flip
to-
that. Who's an actor? Sylvester Stallone, I think, is a Trump supporter, right?
Right.
If Sylvester Stallone stepped on a stage, I'm a fan. Your career was modeled after his biggest movie, right? He stepped out on a stage and was like, "Fuck Biden." I would look at him differently,
Of
even
course I
though,
would.
even though,
But he would never do that because he's class act.
Right,
It's
I don't-
It makes.
I
you
would
feel
be
a
like,
certain way
why
about
would you
people.
fucking do
Yes.
that? Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
And
You know what I mean?
also-
Why
too-
bring that to that?
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
This is art. Let's
If-
keep the art the art.
Right.
If you're an actor or you're a singer or whatever, why would you take a stand either way? Like, what did Michael Jordan say when they said, "Hey,
Yeah.
what about
He's like,
Republicans,
buy sneakers too.
Yeah, why would you ever alienate half of the fucking people that are gonna come to your movie?
Why do you think I asked Roger to be my co-host?
Well, yeah, so you can get.
Well, I think
I got all the
listen,
demographics. You know what I'm saying? I got all of them. I got
He
tall. I got
represents
short. I got hetero. I got homo.
I got LGBTQAI plus E. Yeah.
I mean, I do think we definitely weigh in with our opinions down here, but essentially we're nobodies for starters.
Wait a minute.
But
I know who can play Roger in the reboot of Jersey Shore.
there's already a guy doing
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what
There's already a
I'm
guy doing.
saying. Is that your tag team partner?
Oh shit! I better quit.
If you
while I'm
guys
not
were a
here.
tag team, what would it be called though? Slurp and burp? What would it be called? What would it be called? What would your tag team be called? What if
don't
you
know.
guys were a tag team? What would you be called?
Oh, we already
Master Blaster?
Master
Yeah,
Blaster.
but that would be dope.
I'd
I'd
have
be come out
Frankie
on your shoulders.
Frankie on my back.
Yes,
That's great.
okay,
That's
okay.
fucking great.
That would be pretty good. Frankie would be
great.
the high flyer. He'd be the guy coming off the top ropes.
I couldn't
Yeah.
do it, dude. But you see Logan Paul, he's legit like a wrestler.
Is he?
dude.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
him.
he's-
He-
I mean,
He
looks-
I've seen just highlights of it. I've never watched
I mean,
a
he's
whole one. But like,
freaking
dude,
He
good
does
athlete.
that
He's an
crazy.
athlete and a
Yeah,
half, bro.
yeah, he is.
Athlete and a
He
half.
is. For sure. does that high flying shit. You know?
Both of them are, but you got to think about the resources these guys have too. They're good athletes.
Yeah, but they get out of
They
here.
can
There's a lot
surround
of
themselves.
Hey, they
with,
put their mind. As much as they're cringe at times. Bro, you got to give it to these guys.
For sure.
Put their mind to some, and they got it done. Good.
Well, didn't Logan start? Wasn't he first into the boxing thing, and then Jake kind of took it over?
I see.
And
In
then
the beginning,
Logan.
I didn't follow it. Not that I follow it so much.
I Logan had the
when
first
they were
boxing.
all fighting
right.
podcasters.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But then Jake, I think, is the more skilled one, or the one that put more effort and time into it. And then Logan was like, "All right, I'm just going to start a fucking energy drink that's going to fucking make billions, and then I'll go to the WWE." Right. They both just keep reinventing themselves. I mean,
and it's kind of the best thing that happened for boxing. If not even at their boxing matches, but now the real Larry Heyman and all these other guys, you have to step your game up. These kids are pulling fucking huge numbers on freak show boxing matches, and you got the best boxers in the world, and you got to start stepping your game up.
Like, I think that's how. I think Canelo used Jake Paul to get more money to fight
Crawford.
That's what I think.
But he's got a tune-up fight, then he's fighting Crawford.
I know.
Right?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing though for the purist of boxing though? Because
I don't think it matters as long as it brings eyes.
Well, monetarily, yes.
Yes.
But if you're a purist and you just want to see the best boxer,
right.
I mean, now people are signing up, and I'm not saying Jake Paul's not a boxer. He's a good boxer, but he's not the best for sure.
No, but again, now
and he's bringing in
with the numbers that Jake Paul's bringing in,
right.
It's forcing these other promotions to say, hey, like they would always protect their guys, and it'd be like, hey, this promotion has this guy, this promotion has this. We're never going to let them because they're both our cash cows.
Right.
Now it's like, hey, to compete with this fucking YouTube kid who's pulling these crazy numbers, we got to put these guys together. Yeah. So it's working out better for the purists. It is.
Yes, I guess so. Yeah, but it's the people that are watching now are not boxing fans.
Right.
They're young kids that are YouTube fans. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For his fights, at least.
Right.
But again, will regular boxing get some?
But they weigh in on it like they are. But they're like, he's the best. He's not the best. He's good.
Right.
Fucking good, but he's not the best.
He's a showman.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that fight does happen though. Canelo and Bud.
I know.
Well, we'll see.
I'd take Crawford too.
I don't know. He's giving up some weight.
He's giving up weight, but I think Canelo's starting to get to the end of his prime, and I think Crawford's right there in his prime. You know?
Yeah, makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see
what
happens. What's with the whole tune-up fight? It's not like Canelo's been not active.
I know.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, and it's probably just to
make more money,
and it's to build that fight. I mean, if the Saudi Arabia bought 4 fights,
but what if
Right. But again, now what if he fights Crawford his first fight and loses? Now his second fight ain't gonna have the pop. Where his first fight over there is going to have pop, then the Crawford fight. I get it.
I saw something recently about it was on some social media site, probably TikTok, that most pro boxers pad their numbers by like going overseas and fighting nobodies to get their numbers, their card to look better.
There's guys in boxing that make careers. They're literally just journeymen, and they'll be 2-32.
Yeah.
5-38 with freaking 24 losses.
Beat the shit out of you.
Yes, right.
Well, you're literally just doing it for a paycheck. You don't give a fuck.
You're literally giving yourself brain damage.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of that, but
But they're probably guys. They're probably guys that never wanted a 9-to-5, and they're in the gym anyway. They're like, fuck it, I might as well. I'm in the boxing gym. Being a sparring partner anyway. I might as well take a pro fight here and there.
That's the difference between MMA and boxing. In boxing, it's like you're bringing a boxer up and you say, okay, let's see what he can do with a shorter guy with fast hands. So we got this guy. Boom, he beat him. All right, let's see what he could do with a lefty with range. Then we got this guy. They're never the best of them, but you're just giving them different styles and learning.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like, they don't do that with MMA.
Yeah, and you get thrown to the wolves.
You go there and you're there
quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing it more and more. I mean, kind of did it with Sean O'Malley for a little bit.
And Pimblett.
They let him build up. Yeah, they're right.
Right.
But then, once they're ready,
you're getting
that's it. Once you fight that one fight, now you're all in.
Yes. Right.
You guys would know this better than anybody. I'm sure you can name a million people, but there are people right in the gym, MMA, and I'm sure boxing, any combat sport, that look the part that really, but once they get the bright lights on them, they tend to fade. Right? They don't do well.
Yeah,
don't show up.
Right. And it's. Do you think it's the fear of the bright light? It's the anxiety and
the anxiety of it all.
Yes, right.
Maybe you didn't work hard enough in the gym. You know, all that stuff.
The stress of outside things also, right? I got no fucking money. I'm going into this fight.
Right.
Super worried about this, that, and a lot of shit goes into it. But those guys are important because those are your good fucking rounds in the gym to the guys that can perform under the lights.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have those,
cream rises to the top.
Right?
Yep. I'm gonna butcher this guy's last name, but we were talking about my buddy sent this. I had no idea. You guys are probably, since you're combat sport veterans. Bobby Ches. All right, didn't even get it close. He's battling New Jersey guy, right?
Cancer.
He's battling cancer.
Yeah. Bad, bro.
It's pretty bad.
Bad.
They're doing a fundraiser for him March 30th.
It's scary, man. How many fucking people catch cancer? It's just fucking everywhere.
It is.
It really is, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's weird to see, not that like cancer doesn't discriminate, but like certain people, like Marcelo Garcia caught cancer. Here's a guy probably eats clean, definitely exercises regularly, all this. So it's like
that's the part that fucks you up, right? It's these people, and it's rare, right? It's rare. It's rarer than the unhealthy person dying, but live this. I knew a runner that was like fucking the epitome of health, ran and died fucking running. You know what I mean? Like it can happen to anybody.
Damn.
So what's a better way to live? As a gluttonous pig enjoying the shit out of life?
This is true.
Or as healthy as you can.
You think a gluttonous pig enjoys the shit out of life? I don't think so.
Not all the time, no. Some of the time, sure, yeah.
Well, when they're stuffing their face,
sure,
that's like very short lived.
Yeah, well, I said some of the time, yeah.
But a gluttonous could be a bunch of things, right? You're fucking. You get hookers, you sniff coke, you fucking eat like a slave. You do.
Well,
I mean, there's all little pockets of enjoyment.
Yeah,
that sounded like the seven deadly sins.
Some of that sounded fun. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what? I'm looking at it different. If you could fill your day up with all these little things, then you don't have much downtime, right? I know, but
gluttonous pig was the wrong way to say it. But you know what I'm saying? As a person who.
Right, takes care of themselves. A sense.
Well, you got the person on one end. I put Frankie. I put both of you guys in that spectrum. That live your life to the the epitome of health. Eat everything that goes in your body is good.
Could be better.
Well, everybody probably could do it, but you're in that upper echelon, right, of people, and then people that just don't give a shit about. Well, I mean, Trump. We were talking about Trump. Trump thinks you only get so many heartbeats.
I know.
Yeah, but
if you,
I don't think he.
I don't think he's
like shit. I don't think he eats that. He's he's
no. I don't think he's
like a
no.
like
certainly is not one of those guys.
He doesn't drink any alcohol. Doesn't any drugs ever.
That's right. Bro, alcohol is so fucking bad for you.
The more I read about
cigarettes, all the shit that our parents grew up doing.
Yes.
My dad died at 56 years old, and I think about that. But I also look at this guy's. Look at how he ate 3 donuts for breakfast every morning. Smoked 2 packs of cigarettes. Drank all the time. He didn't take care of himself. I mean, it doesn't matter how good your genes are. And if you're constantly polluting yourself, it can't be good. And I also think that
but it's
positive mindset is huge, bro.
No stress.
If you're a negative motherfucker all the time and you feel like life is always happening to you,
definitely that same thing on my old man. I think he was stressed out. He got kind of. I felt like he would.
Did you feel it as a kid? Did that weigh on you? Like you say, your dad was always stressed out. Did you feel
that weighed on me as a kid?
I mean, I didn't live with him.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it as much, but like,
how did you know? You're saying it now. How did you know?
I just felt like my parents got divorced. My mom meets Frank and ends up in some nice house, and my dad's got a fucking 1-bedroom apartment in Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And like that, I think ate at him. And plus, I mean, he kind of did it to himself. Like I said, he lost his license 4 times. So in elementary school for 2 years, I used to take the bus and shit with him. And then in high school, I could barely see him because he lost his license for 10 years. Right. You know what I mean?
And
so
that's just
that wear it on him too.
For a fucking man.
That way definitely wear it on him.
Yeah.
My dad, he would fucking talk about it all the time. My dad was the guy that would bitch for an hour and a half about his issues, and then he'd be like, "But Pop, keep your head on straight. Everything's gonna be all right." I'm like, bro, take your own fucking advice. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he was always super stressed out, always, and that wears on you. It does. Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, I think I do agree with that. And I can fall into that. I catch myself falling into that negativity.
Everybody does, right? Everybody has
having to pull myself out.
I think some of it is necessary.
Well, being a cynic, I don't think is a bad thing, right? You don't want.
I never wanted to be a loser. That's what definitely motivated me. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do still, and Frankie laughed at me because I pulled him up on the big screen here one time. But those dudes that fucking those entrepreneurial speaker dudes, they drive me nuts, bro. They drive me fucking nuts.
I know.
Because then why are you up there? If you're so successful, why are you trying to sell me your fucking business plan?
You almost subscribed?
You know what I mean?
You almost got you?
Who?
You.
Oh,
They
no,
almost get
never.
you?
Never.
None of them?
Never. Those guys drive me nuts.
Who's the one guy? Him and his wife were up there. He's always got like fucking lycra tight pants on.
They all drive me nuts.
Oh, it's just fucking. But there's all different versions of them. You get like the athletic, the real tan guy. Then the guy that's tattooed fucking head to toe.
Yeah.
Did 10 years in the fucking Bing, but now I'm gonna tell you, like, come on.
Oh, that's
bro,
Wes
come
Watson.
on.
You're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, Wes Watson.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
They really
They
do.
do.
You should be a motivational speaker, Frank.
no.
Frankie would have people jumping off the fucking bridge. He'd
Exactly.
be like,
He would.
Exactly.
All you got to do is talk very assertively, and he does this anyway, and raise your voice. Frankie's always fucking raised. Just raise your voice. Talk to people like you're their fucking.
I can't do it.
And you can sell anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to be confident.
yeah,
Right.
well, fucking Hitler did it. So.
This is true. True.
All right, everybody. Good times.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
We got some reads too, I think. Right?
Yep. We got two. Yep.
All right. Take it ish. What's up, guys? Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. You can find the links in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this episode, hit that like button and share it with a friend. Your support keeps us growing.